Hi, my name is Anthony Buchanan. Welcome to LAE 4416 at Indian River State College with Dr. April Van Camp. This is on the Chapter 7 topic of realistic fiction. The book I'm covering today is Captain Underpants and the Wrath of the Wicked Wedgie Woman. It's the fifth book in the Captain Underpants series by author Dave Pilkey. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And on the 2000-2009 updated ranks of the top 15 banned and challenged books, this would be book number 12, or at least this series was number 12. And it just happened to be the only book I owned at the time. So, yeah. The general plot of the Captain Underpants series is that there's two boys, Harold and George. They hypnotize their principal, Mr. Crump, with a 3D hypno ring in the first book. And they made the principal their superhero that they draw comics and pretty much goof off in class and not do their work with, called Captain Underpants. And in the stories, they end up trying to get out of trouble and stuff like that through using the 3D hypno ring, and then failing and usually creating villains and stuff like that for Captain Underpants. And then they have to use Captain Underpants to help save them and save the town through, just a snap of the fingers, because that's how he becomes Captain Underpants and switches back. In regards to Susan Patron's claims, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, from the textbook, it's on the list mainly because it's rather unsuited in general for age groups and through the cartoony violence. I mean, this was a fourth grade book when I was reading in the library back in elementary school, way back in the early 2000s and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, there's not a lot in this book that's really fourth grade-y. I mean, it's pretty much an adult picture book with, maybe an occasional word or two you really don't understand back when you were in fourth grade, but other than that, whatever. But I mean, it's like in chapter 25, as far as the violence goes, it literally becomes a flip-a-rama book where you have a picture here on the left side, the odd number page, and then you just go back and forth, and it creates that action of a comic book, where in this case, I believe it's Harold that's getting punched repeatedly over and over in the face with robotic arms by Captain Underpants. And there's your cartoony violence. In chapter 26, the dialogue and the actual text is really not that good. In chapter 26, it goes, quote, "The giant robots were defeated, but the battle was not over yet. Harold ran back to the treehouse to grab the 3D hypno ring, while George ran back to everything except fabric softener for some more supplies." And it's, again, just pictures, and it's like that much text for one for the first page of the chapter. Soon George returned to the center of the town carrying a big cardboard box filled with spray cans. "What are you doing with that?" asked Harold, who just arrived with the 3D hypno ring. "I'm taking this extra strength spray starch someplace where Wedgie Woman won't be able to find it," George shouted rather loudly. "Extra strength spray starch?" cried the wicked Wedgie Woman. "That's just what I need." Her winding hair lashed out at George, stopping him dead in his tracks. The 9 twisting braids each grabbed a can from the box and began spraying them at Captain Underpants. A huge cloud of mist filled the air, covering everything in sight, and making these 2 pages incredibly easy to draw. And that's how you break the fourth wall. When the cloud finally lifted, all Wedgie Woman's hair was gone. In fact, all of everybody's hair was gone. "See," George explained, "there was no need for spray starch in this box. There was no spray starch in this box. This box was just a clever disguise carton for hair remover. I used reverse psychology on her." "Ah!" screamed Harold as he clutched his bald head. "My mom's gonna lay hard-boiled eggs when she sees me." "Relax," said George. "Our hair will grow back." "That's easy for you to say, Harold. Your hair was only half an inch long." And yeah, fourth grade material right there. Back when, as I said, back when I was in school, these books were readily available. They weren't censored or anything like that. I began reading them back in Mr. Helmkamp's fourth grade class, back at Village Green Elementary, back in Port St. Lucie. To me, there is a difference between censorship and selection. Selection just means that you're limited to the resources you have available to you, whereas censorship means you're just trying to block, the material from getting to the reader in general, for whatever reason. Captain Underpants to me is just selection. It's not an award-winning book by any stretch of the imagination. It's just not. And in schools and even public libraries, it's becoming hard to find books that aren't award-winning. In fact, I just went out tonight for my book for the critical assignment that's due next Friday at the Morningside Library. And the only Dr. Seuss book I could find was The Lorax in Spanish. To me, unethical to block. To me, it's unethical to block books such as Captain Underpants. Students can get burned out from reading books that are only designed to educate you. They need a break from the stresses of reality, just like we do. And Captain Underpants is one such book that fills the void. So yeah, it would be in my library. It's not a award-winning book, but it is at least something to entertain and keep the children interested and still reading, even if it is technically a fourth grade book that's more like a third or second grade book. I'm Anthony Buchanan, signing off.